Okay, welcome back to CIS 130. As promised, I'm going to do a series of micro lectures on the individual scripts that are related to the assignments which you have to turn in. And so in this case, this week script 14 is due, and what I'd like to do is I'd like to just take you through what it is that we're talking about with functions. I'll write the script for you as a recording, and I will post the code that I write with the recording, at least part of the code, and have you finish the script then when you get to it. And so for us at this point, functions are literally just, really, they are subroutines for us in the, we're subroutines for us in BASIC. And so what we want to do, the idea of a function or the idea of a subroutine here, is that we'd like to write a piece of code that we can call anytime we want. And so for this example in particular, what we want to do is we want to be able to write a little bit of code that we can call again and again and again. And as you'll see as I go through the example here, you're going to see that functions, it doesn't matter what the order of the functions are. I can write functions in any order and I can call them in any order, and I can, it doesn't matter how they're organized inside of the code necessarily, as long as they come out at the end. So in this particular assignment, you're asked to do, you are asked to create a file named function.basic that demonstrates the elements of a program mainline and also several functions. So if you look through here and you kind of look down, you're going to create 3 functions, function 1, function 2, function 3, and also a mainline, which actually brings you back to the main the main part of the program. So I'm going to switch over here, and I'm going to jump into QB64. This is my editor, and just like any other piece of code that you write for this class, I ask you to identify your name on this. I ask you to identify the class that you're in, and I don't know what section we are, maybe 220, maybe 330, and I ask you to identify what script it is that you are working on, and this is script 14, functions. Okay. And so what we have for any program that we write at this point is we have a main function. And at the end of that main function, we have the keyword end. And so what happens is that anything that happens inside of this function, this is the only part that's really, let's say, executable in the runtime. Functions, however, come down here underneath the end. And you've seen this before, I know you have. So what we do is we will create a function named function 1, and we use a colon, that's our syntax on this, and at the end of our function we have to have the word return. And so what I can do here, I know I'm going to have 3 functions, function 2 with a return, and function 3 with a return. So these functions right here, these are called stubs. And a stub, all it means is that I have a container prepared to take my code, but I haven't put any code in there yet. Now if I run this, I'll get a black screen, nothing will run, and you say, well, why is that? You put 3 functions in. Well, first of all, I don't have any print statements on the screen, there's no calculations being done, there's nothing that's going on in here, and even though I have these 3 stubs for my function 1, 2, and 3, I also never call those functions. And so in order to get inside of my functions, what I want to do is I want to call this. And so you know this already, go sub function 1, just like that. What happens from here is that now, if I were to run this, I start from here, these are comments at the top of this, so nothing happens. I get into my main line, it says go sub function 1. What happens is that we jump to function 1 from here. We run whatever code is in here, and then when we hit return, we are returned right back to where we called it from. So we call it from here, and when we're done with this function, it returns us to here at the end. So what I want to do in here is this, is that if I want to check and see if my function is running, I can do something very simple like this. I can say inside function 1. Okay? Very simple print statement at this point. So I call function 1, I jump inside function 1, it will print inside function 1, and then it will return out of here and go back down here. If I were to run this code right now, the only thing that I'll see will just be inside function 1. It'll print to the screen, and that's it. So let's go ahead and run this quickly, and you'll see that all we see on this is inside function 1. I start the program. I get, simply put, just the printout inside function 1. That's it. Okay. So in theory, really all I'm asking you to do, or not even in theory, but in practice, really what I'm asking you to do is function 2 and go sub function 3. That's all I'm asking you to do in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it easy on myself. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to do this. I'm going to say inside function 2 down here. I'm going to go one more time. I'm going to say inside function 3 on here. And running this will produce the result that I want, inside function 1, inside function 2, inside function 3. And because there's an end statement that comes after these, I will actually terminate the program or finish the program when I get done. So this is what I'm asking for you from this particular assignment. And one thing that I said earlier is that functions give us the ability to, we can write functions in any order that we want to. We do not have to have functions in a particular order outside of the main run of the program. And that main run of the program here ends at n. So what I'm doing is I'm calling function, I'm providing function 3, function 2, then function 1. So what I've done is I've reversed the order on these, and what you're going to see is that it doesn't make any difference to the runtime. The runtime, because I call function 1, 2, and 3, when I do run this program, I'll still get the feedback that I want, which is function 1, function 2, function 3. Even though I've reorganized my functions down here, this ordering doesn't make any difference. It's the ordering up here that makes the difference. This is the flow of the program. These are simply functions that are written, pre-written pieces of code I can call at any time that I want to. And the same way goes from here. If I wanted to, I could, in fact, I also said to you that I could call functions as many times as I want to. So I could actually go like this. I could call function 3 many times, and it doesn't make any difference to the program how many times I call that code and how many times the function runs. The functions are available to be used multiple times, as many times as we want. So that's the nature of what we have on here. What I'm going to do is, for the code that I am going to provide to you, I'm going to provide to you this code right here. I'm going to take out functions 1 and 2 and take out the callers on functions 1 and 2. And so this will be the start code, and I will ask you to finish the assignment. Okay, so keep looking for these. Keep looking for these assignment videos. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, we will continue to meet Thursday nights from 6 to 9:30. Thank you.